Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day today. So we're filming the first video for fall in 2025 and I am so excited. I have had to really reel back my excitement to film this video too early. So it's the end of August, beginning of September now when I'm filming this, and I figure I've waited long enough and I really want to just embrace this season of fall. I feel like the autumn just goes by so quickly, and so I'm letting myself think that it's fall come September 1st. So I have my fallish dress on. This is a dress that I made, I think, last year. It's last year or the year before. And this is a pattern hack from my favorite pattern I've ever sewn, which is a vintage Laura Ashley pattern. I added these long sleeves. I used this vintage Laura Ashley fabric. It has these little burgundy flowers. And I know white technically is not a autumnal color, but I love pure white. And I feel like with the burgundy, it makes it look very fallish. So one of my favorite dresses to wear. I have a chai tea latte in my favorite vintage teacup, and we're just going to do a cozy sewing vlog like these usually are. I want to get my fall decorations out this week. I'd love to be outside. The weather is just stunning. It's beautiful. Work on the sewing project, maybe watch a couple of cozy movies, maybe bake a couple things. I don't know, but I'm just very excited. So let's start off first with what we're going to sew, which is probably why you clicked on this video in the first place. So we're going to be going off of a reprint of a vintage sewing pattern. I love the lines of this pattern. This is from, I believe, Lady Marlowe Patterns. I purchased this on Etsy, and it says 1930s. It's actually a nightgown, but I love the silhouette. If you notice, there is no fitted waist. It kind of has this bust and then it just goes down. I believe this is cut on the bias, which is a little intimidating. I've never done that before, but I really love the style of this. So Lauren Johnson here on YouTube made this dress a couple of months ago, maybe a month ago now, and I fell in love. I love dresses that don't have fitted waists. I just, first of all, don't have very good luck sewing things with fitted waists, but also I just don't enjoy wearing them very much. They're not super comfortable to me. So when I saw this dress, I knew I needed to make it, and so I'm very excited to do this. So the fabric that we're going to be using is why I've been so excited to make this, because this is the fabric we're going to be using to make this dress, and this is rayon. So not only are we really going outside of my normal sewing when cutting on the bias, but I've also never sewn with rayon. I think I've maybe I've sewn it once, that's it. But this is from Rifle Paper Company. This is their Dahlia collection, and just, if that is not the most autumnal fabric you have ever seen, I don't know what is. So this is a fabric we're going to be using, and I just thought this would be the perfect dress for kind of these pre-fall days when it's not super cool outside, and you could still wear this on its own without like a sweater or anything, and then come the cooler days you could maybe put like a cardigan over this dress, a trench coat, whatever you may have to keep you warm. But I think this is just going to be so beautiful, and the drape, which is not doing it very good because it's folded right now, but even then, like, it's just stunning. So I'm very excited. So first things first, we need to cut out this fabric, which I'm very nervous to do. I want to be really precise because this dress is actually fairly simple. There's no zipper, there's no buttons. It's just a fairly simple dress. So fingers crossed that all goes well and I don't run into any complications, because I want to wear this dress like right now. So that is the plan for the start of this video. I'm going to take this out to the living room and lay out my fabric. Maybe we'll put on a fallish movie, and we will cut out the pattern pieces and then start making this stunning dress. So about 2 hours later, and the fabric is just now cut out. I'm hoping I cut it out correctly. I'm a little nervous, but I do have a little bit of time this afternoon, and so I am going to go and press all of the pieces just to get all of the wrinkles out of them. And then I think I'm gonna try and at least sew the skirt together so I can at least have that done. I don't have time to finish the dress today, as amazing as that would be, but I can at least get that portion done. So let's go back to the sewing room and we will see how far we get. Here is my happy little mess. I have my now cold chai tea latte. I pressed all the pieces. The skirt pieces are over on the ironing board. I have a little recipe from my friend Mary, who's a pen pal, that I want to try. But now that these are all pressed, I'm going to go pin the skirt pieces together and see how much of that we can get before we have to leave for church later on this evening. So I'm getting pretty excited. So I just grabbed my instructions to read what I'm supposed to do for the skirt, and literally all it says is join center, front, back, and side seams of skirt. So that should be pretty easy. And then I will do a 1/2 inch seam allowance on the skirt pieces. So should be a nice, easy way to start this sewing project. Excuse the mess in the background. This room has kind of become my catch-all room, as you can clearly see. However, I have good news on the dress front. So yesterday I finished putting together the skirt of the dress. Here it is in all of its flowy maxi dress goodness. I tried this on and it fits beautifully. So I'm hoping that the bodice will fit just as well as the skirt is, because I was really nervous about the skirt. Very happy with this. My seams are not perfect just because I forget how slippery rayon is, and also because it's cut on the bias. I think you need to be a little more particular. But I think with the busyness of the fabric, and since it's a little bit darker, I don't think you'll be able to notice too much. Not enough to bother me, at least. So I'm just going to drink some little spiced chai tea latte, and we will start working on the construction, at least, of the bodice. I know there are a couple of more like fiddly things with the bodice, so I don't know how far we will get on that today. Let me quit chatting and procrastinating, and let's work on the bodice of this dress. Alright you guys, so here's the bodice so far. It's looking actually like a top of a dress, and I just tried this on, and shocker of all shockers, it actually fit like a glove. I cannot tell you how many times I'm going to remake this pattern because of that reason. Having to adjust patterns to fit you is one of the worst parts of sewing, in my opinion. But we are this far, and I'm only going to be able to do one more thing because we are actually going over to my parents for a family get together. So I think where we're going to stop today is I need to thread through the ribbon in these casings. And this is the ribbon that I'm going to use. I feel like it kind of brings out the dusty pinks in the flowers here. And then I need to gather it up to be this length. And I want to see how long the ribbons and such need to be to adjust it from there. And so I also need to make sure I keep enough space at the bottom here so I can catch this in the seam of the skirt, but where I can still have my ribbon coming out. So I do just need to make sure that I stop at a certain point here. But I'm getting pretty excited because we're getting towards the end, and I just still am in shock that this actually fit the first time. Just such a blessing, honestly, because I just get so discouraged when things do not fit very well the first time. So I'm just going to thread this through and we will see what length we want to cut this to. Just now getting a chance to sit down and talk to you guys. We had a lovely morning this morning. Rosie and I made some pumpkin scones, which were delicious. I will link the recipe down below in the description box because they were fantastic, especially with the maple glaze, which almost tasted more like frosting. They were so good. Highly recommend them. We made those this morning, and then I grabbed my autumn decor box from the basement, brought that up and unpacked everything, washed all the dishes, and put up the few decorations that I have. I don't have many. I'm much more of a practical decoration person rather than a only decorative person. So for example, like my dishes, they're very autumnal looking. This one's actually a vintage Laura Ashley cup, but they're useful. And then I have those little pumpkin, they look like little gold pumpkins. Those are some taper candle holders. I have my white pumpkin looking vase, and then oh, my little ghosts that Rosie and I made last year, and that's really it. I don't have many fall decorations, but it was fun to get those out and put some fresh flowers on the table, and it was just a lovely way to spend the morning. So Rosie is laying down for her nap right now, and Caleb is downstairs doing something, so you might hear him talking in the background. But I still can't work on the dress. I need to let the dress hang for a couple of more hours. So I figured in the meantime, I could at least bring out some of my fall records, show those to you guys. I'm pretty sure I've done this almost every single fall. So if you've been following me for a couple of years, you probably have seen all of these vinyls before, but I need to do that. And then I cannot work on the dress yet, but I can make the bias binding for the neckline. So I'm thinking after we get my vinyl all switched over, we will go in and make the bias binding, because honestly, I really don't enjoy making bias binding. And so I think I might put on a fall YouTube video and watch that while doing that. So it's feeling a little more like summer today. It's almost 80 degrees outside, but the house is looking a lot more autumnal, which is making me really happy. And honestly, it's just fun to like get some new dishes out and get some new decorations out without having to buy anything, which is always a lovely feeling. So I'm actually going to go fill up my little teacup just with some water because I'm a little warm right now. And I will show you guys my vinyl and get those all switched over before making the bias binding. So we've made our way to the floor by my beloved vinyl collection and record player. And I'll show you guys some of my fall vinyl. So I just put whatever vinyl is in season in this wooden thrifted magazine rack that I bought a couple of years ago. And it just makes it easier to pull them out of here as opposed to pulling them out of here and putting them back in. I love this little record stand that I bought, I believe last year, but it's not the most practical for putting my records in and out of. So I find that I like them better in this little magazine rack, and it also is less to pick from. I know some people might find it a little odd that I separate my vinyl into seasons, but otherwise if I just have this big collection, sometimes I don't know what to listen to and I don't grab one. So I find that this works the best. So I'll go through these really quickly. Like I said, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen almost all of these, but for those who are new here, I'll show you guys my autumnal playlist. So with a lot of soundtracks, we have Sleepless in Seattle, When Harry Met Sally, which honestly I'm not a huge fan of the movie, but I love the music because it's Harry Connick Jr. Speaking of Harry Connick Jr., Stella Cole, which I want to get her new vinyl. Samara Joy, Keith and Kristen Getty, this is the Hymns for the Christian Life, and honestly, doesn't necessarily sound autumnal, but it kind of looks it, so I put it with my fall music. Levy's Bewitched, this is the fall vinyl in my opinion. Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong, probably some of my favorite fall music right there. Nat King Cole and Ella Fitzgerald, another Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. Can you tell I love Ella? And then lastly is the You've Got Mail soundtrack, which I know some people say is more of a springtime movie because of where it ends in the spring, but this is definitely my favorite fall movie. I will most assuredly be watching that this year. So that is my fall vinyl, and we have those all out and ready to listen to, which is just making me very happy to have some new vinyl to listen to. I find that I also just appreciate my vinyl a lot more when I make myself not listen to everything throughout the year, because it's just, again, it's like buying new things without having to buy anything. So it's really nice. So I did put When Harry Met Sally in the front because it's just so fallish. So I think I might actually listen to one of these while I make the bias binding, because I'll be able to hear it in my sewing room. So that way we can get peak fall vibes this morning.
Dog on the chain. I'm
All right, you guys, so bias binding is made, the dress has officially hung up for 24 hours, and we just have the finishing touches that we need to make on this dress. So all that's left to do is I need to serge off one of the raw edges on the inside, and then we'll flip this right side out. I'm gonna lower the neckline just a little bit, add the bias binding to the neckline, and then hem the dress, and it's done. So feeling very inspired and motivated, so I'm hoping to keep with that so we can finish the dress this afternoon, and then it will be time for the reveal.
Watching the paper slowly unfold, bracing for news that I can't bear to hold, while I'm singing this song to myself. I sing this softly to myself. Tore up my jeans on the fence. This iron road I cannot bend, but my walking is lighter when I walk with a friend. I sing this softly to myself. I sing this softly to myself.
So the dress is done. And if you can tell by the joy on my face, I love it. That's all I have to say about this dress. I love it. I loved sewing this dress. I love wearing this dress. And I will most definitely be making more dresses with this sewing pattern because it is just a dream. It's honestly very simple to put together. It's a lovely break from putting in zippers or buttonholes or buttons, and it fits so well. I have very rarely had any sewing pattern that actually fits me well the first time with no adjustments to the sewing pattern, and this was one of them. I love the flutter sleeves. I love flutter sleeves. I want to make many more projects with flutter sleeves. I just think they're very flattering. I really like them. They're also very comfortable, and I'm very thankful I lowered the neckline a little bit because it was a little too high. I don't think I took any clips of me wearing this when I was trying it on, but it is significantly higher and just felt a little bit claustrophobic almost to wear. Like it was just like too much up here. So I'm very glad that I lowered the neckline. And other than lowering the neckline, I didn't really do very much to alter this pattern, and I just love it. So if you're looking for a good kind of slip style, I would say, bias cut dress, I highly, highly, highly recommend this sewing pattern. But all of that gushing aside, I think I am going to end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of early fall video. I had so much fun filming this, and honestly it has reminded me to film more videos like this. This is the type of videos I love to film, where I'm taking you guys baking and we're talking about seasonal things and some lifestyle things in our home, but also sewing things that I actually really love and want to wear. I have really learned, especially this past year, to really be intentional about the fabric I'm buying and the patterns that I'm buying, just to make sure it's actually something I will wear over and over and over again, and not just making things to make things. I don't really want to be wasteful, and it's also a waste of time if I make things that I don't actually really enjoy. So this dress just very much feels like me, and was really encouraging to me to know that I am figuring out what I do like to wear and to make. So anyway, all of this chatting aside, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, let me know in a comment down below, and let me know what you guys are doing to get ready for fall, or what you're already doing to enjoy this new season. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.
Separate